The Atlanta Journal-Constitution talked to witnesses. Republican Senator Dan Patrick wrote in his Twitter page that he wasn't in the office, but his staff called security and told him this. An individual came into my Austin Senate office today acting strangely. Staff called security moments later. Shots fired on Capitol steps, he wrote. So it looks like he came in, something happened, he ran out. Maybe he didn't want the police to arrest him and he shot it at the ground or something. We're only speculating. Why didn't they kill him? Somebody comes around my office and starts shooting a gun, trying to hurt people. I'm not going to talk to him. I'm going to kill him. I mean, I would expect the police draw down and shoot him. Don't talk to him. See, people always defend police when they shoot somebody who's unarmed in the back. But then they get on police if they shoot somebody who's already got a gun. Look, you got a gun and you're already shooting it. I don't think anybody should wait. You just need to shoot. You know, I always see these cases where somebody breaks in a business and the person says, hands up. I'm not going to say hands up if you've broken in. I'm just going to shoot you. And that's what the law says I should do. But it goes on from there. This is terrible. Going back to Larry in Texas, as he's a sheriff's deputy, warning people about how ineffective 223 is. It's fired from the M16, AR-15, Ruger range rifles. The list goes on and on. But separately from that, I've tested it myself. I know you're right. People do need a heavier round. Why does our military use the 223? Because they did studies with the Colt, the original M16, and found that when it hits, it changes directions. I've shot deer with the 223. And as long as you shoot them 100 yards or closer, the bullet doesn't even generally come out, but it goes all over. I don't like it because it messes up a lot of meat. But I've shot deer with 223s, and they always drop immediately, whereas I shoot them with a 30-06 or 308. They tend to run 10, 15 feet. They got a big hole blown in them on the other side, and the meat's a lot cleaner. But the 223, man, it just goes in, and that bullet goes through bones, everything else breaks into pieces. Same thing when you shoot a vehicle. So I agree with you, it's not good for roadblocks. But separate from that, what do you think of this Capitol situation?
It sounds suspicious.
I mean, what would you do if you were a Capitol State Police officer and somebody's shooting a gun, waving it around? I mean, how did he survive this without even being shot?
I couldn't answer that. It's too bad they didn't take him out.
But doesn't it sound suspicious that they wouldn't? I mean, normal procedure if somebody's shooting a gun is you shoot them.
Oh, yeah, neutralize. Back to the last test we done with the 223 was if someone was in the brush and you were returning fire at someone hiding in the brush, and we set the target behind waist-high brush and left the head portion showing where you could gauge 12 inches below and then be able to shoot. None of the rounds made it through the brush, so if someone's in the weeds with the ghillie suit on shooting at you, you're going to have a hard time trying to return with the 223. One other thing I want to pass on to you about RFID. I was listening to a computer show, a guy that helps you with your computer, and someone called in about the RFID. And he said that there's a YouTube, I don't have a computer, he said there's a YouTube video that shows a situation where these new passports have the RFID chip in them, and they're coded by...
Yeah, and the guy drives around San Francisco stealing people's passports. This
was a garbage can that had a bomb in it, and numerous people were walking by it, but as soon as an American went by it, it blowed up.
RFID are super bad. Really good points. Yeah, that is a really good point. You've got the passport on you. It knows who you are. It detonates. Really good point. We've got photos taken from on top an office building across the street as the reported alleged shooter was apprehended by police. I find it very suspicious. In fact, where's my fact sheet? It's 24-year-old, right? Can I have that? Yeah, 24-year-old male from Houston. We called the state police and got this information. This isn't even out in the media yet. But this is from the spokeswoman, Lisa Block. I mean, I find it very suspicious that you've got a guy on the steps of the Capitol crawling with armed state police, waving a gun around, shooting it, and they didn't shoot him. And that, I guess they then said freeze while he's shooting a gun, and then he put it down and they didn't shoot him. I mean, the cops half the time go and shoot homeowners. They're so trigger happy when they're investigating something. And I mean, I'm not saying they're bad when they do that, but there's a lot of accidents that happen. I know the DPS is supposedly better trained than a lot of police departments, but I don't understand how somebody is running around shooting 5 to 6 shots, they're now saying, and no one shoots him. The scenario that I start thinking about now, according to the state senator who said he was in his office, he was acting strangely, left, and then they heard shots. So he's acting strangely. Maybe he had a concealed carry. You're not supposed to have that in the Capitol. They start grabbing on him. It looks like a Glock. There's an image of the state police, and the state police wouldn't hold their own firearm. Plus, it's not what the state police carry. It looks like a small Glock or one of the knockoffs of the plastic gun. You know, the Capitol doesn't have metal detectors in it. You know they're just going to stick them in there as if that'll do anything. I bet they're going to put naked body scanners in there, and I bet this whole thing is a DPS intelligence operation. But I don't know that. But DPS was marked as the worst in the country under COINTELPRO, staging fake terror attacks and keeping lists on citizens, and they still do it. But that came out in the 80s, and they got barred from it. Blow up that photo for PrisonPlanet.tv viewers and send these photos over to Kurt and Emma. Now, that's the shot, a better face shot of the alleged perpetrator. Let's blow that up first. And then the other photo is of the gun. Now, blow it up some more. Let's blow it right up to his face so everybody can see it. Where did you guys get these so people can go look at them for themselves? This is KXAN. Blow it up some more. KXAN.com. Yep, that looks like a white male, crew cut haircut, white T-shirt, blue jeans. You got DPS there with a bike cop. Okay, go to the other photo. Now, blow that up. Look at that firearm. That is a Glock, or one of the similar. There's so many now that imitate the Glock. That is one of the smaller, little snub-nosed, semi-automatic, black, composite, call them plastic, but they're really composite firearms. That's what that is. And it looks like the chamber is open. So the slide, the top of the firearm, let's go back to that, is open. See how it's sticking out further past the handle? And the police officer is holding it by the barrel. That's not how he would hold his own firearm. It'd be in his hand. And I believe he does have a, he's got a shotgun in his right hand, a black semi-auto shotgun. He's got a riot shotgun in one hand. And I'll guarantee you that officer's not going to be holding a firearm that way unless he had just grabbed it up off the ground. And these photos, they report, were just seconds after they apprehended him. So, did he fire the shots to scare people and then put it back in his belt buckle and then run? That's the only way they wouldn't have killed him if it isn't, or at least shot him, if this wasn't staged. See, we're trying to work the different angles of this. Could it be suspicious? Yes. Or could it be just a lunatic? Yes. But I'll guarantee you this. There aren't any police in the planet where somebody's on the steps of the Capitol with a gun firing shots. They're not going to sit there and say, drop the gun, drop the gun. They're going to shoot him. We'll be right back.